one of the biggest questions that people do when it comes to creative is, are my competitors using a proper creative strategy, or are brands out there doing that, from the most famous ones to the less famous ones? And the answer is usually no, but we can easily try to find that out. So for example, we are in Foreplay. I didn't search for anything. These are just the creatives that showed up from different brands, right? As you can see. Let's choose the first one, which I know is a famous brand, okay? Meaning that they should be running a lot of ads. Now, bear in mind that Foreplay does not have necessarily all the creatives. So one thing we can try to do is go to the media library as well and try to see if Taboola is running other ads. How many creatives we have here? How many ads? Sorry, we have 300 results, meaning that we only have 21 here, if I'm not mistaken, right? Let's see. I only have 21 here. So we can. Some of them are very similar to each other. Okay. Let's actually, first of all, let's see for how long they've been running the same creatives. Like which creative they have up and running for the longest, which is probably currently on. That's what we'll try to find out. By the way, here we have not filter a specific country, meaning that you can see this is in different languages. Regardless of that, we are 23rd of May, and we have creatives running since the 1st, meaning that this creative here is telling us that this creative might actually be a good converting creative. Now, we always have to think and use the data that we have to make assumptions. I know Taboola has a pretty good investment. Therefore, they might be spending money without being profitable just to acquire clients or potential audience attention. So usually we have to make a difference between big companies, small companies, companies with a lot of investment, and companies with not so much investment. But regardless of that, we know this is up and running for a pretty good time. It would be amazing to find one in English. Let's try to find one in English so we can actually make a reasonable evaluation. So for example, this one. This has been running since the 1st of April and is telling us that this creative might actually be a good high performance creative, right?
Okay, let's talk, because I was so close to missing this, and maybe you are too. I always thought that the most popular platforms were the way to grow. But my ad costs kept rising and my sales just weren't keeping up. And then I found Realize. And it turns out there's this whole other audience that I was completely missing. Realize works by placing my ads where my ideal audience actually spends their time online. Why should I compete for expensive clicks on search later when I can just convert these high intent users earlier in the journey? And the best part is that this is actually profitable. You know, my return on ad spending has never looked as good as it does now. I think you need to try this for yourself. Try promoting your business on Realize today. Okay, let's talk, because I was so close to missing this, and maybe you are too.
Now, the reason why I know this creative is working is it's been running for quite a good time, 1st of April, and also there are different variations of this.
Seeing my conversions increasing on the Realize platform.
Sorry, it's not different variations. This is a different creative within the same category. Okay, because it's kind of a testimonial, storytelling. They're using the same actor, meaning that probably this guy is his image, the way he looks, the way he presents himself is actually helping to convert. But let's go to the main point. The main point was, are they running different creatives? Look at that.
Real talk. How much money are you?
So this is telling us that testimonials is working.
If your ROI's been tired of social ads, I made 100K somewhere else.
Two things here. First of all, they don't seem to be running many different creatives. Probably they did that in the past, meaning they tested different bunch of categories. And I know they did because I know the brand for quite a long time, and I know they have tested many different categories like press hit shot, testimonial, reviews, breaking news. They have product features and benefits. They have tested all, and now they are just basing, at least the English version, okay? I'm not talking about the Japanese one. The English version, they are mostly spending most of the budget. I would say most of the budget, but you still don't know. They might even spend their whole budget on this image, and this one has very little budget. But I would say they are spending most of their budget on similar
So there's this marketing team staring at their ad campaign
First of all, they're going for videos.
like, we're stuck. CPM sky.
Then they go for storytelling.
All right, so two digital marketers walk in.
And then they go
What if I told you?
for reviews. Testimonial reviews, okay? Let's look at here because we might know what they're doing. So for example, by looking at here, what I'm trying to understand is what categories they are running the creatives for. And I already know this is like this is like product features and benefits. This is like just like showcasing the product, like how to use it, or the promise they make. I would say that if this was my client, there would still be, and pretending that this were the only creative they ran so far, I would say there's still a bunch of creatives we must run. We have to do the breaking news. We have to do the influencer. We have to do the podcast style. We have to do the press it shot. You know, all these categories still need to be produced while maintaining the ones that are working, while still developing. So, for example, if you say, no, this kind of
Campaign man.
here on the right side works pretty well, keep on producing that. It's fine, but let's bring other creatives to the table and see if they outperform this one or if they just help the whole account bring in more results. Therefore, we can scale. Okay, so even a pro like Tabola, if you tell me that they're only running these ads and even these ones here, I would say there's still a bunch of categories we can try. Now, if we go to a very small one, like beautiful home decor, I think this sounds like drop shipping. I don't know, it sounds like drop shipping. Because drop shippers have this tendency of, nothing against, but they have this tendency to the brand name to be the explanation of what the product is. They're only running 2 ads. This is definitely drop shipping. And besides being drop shipping, they have all the creative strategy that we explained on the other video to test. I wanted to see a company, like how many creatives? 2 creatives. This is not many creatives. I want to see more. 2 creatives. They have different names. Okay, this is drop shipping as well. I'm gonna skip drop shipping just because they are not really a fan of proper testing. Okay, 11. Ad Lab. Let's see what creatives they are running. Let's see what categories they have tested. If she's famous, then it's an influencer creative video. If she's not famous, styled by Emily. I guess she's famous, so this would be considered influencer creative.
Just tell me how we lost track of everything.
I think this is the same lady, so it's influencer. So basically just showing the product. This is not a creative strategy. Like this is the most basic creative that anyone can come up with, which is like, okay, let's just show beautiful people wearing our products. Now, where is the press it shot here? Where is the breaking news here? Where is the statistics base? But how can we use the statistic base? Okay, so what is this? Rings? Jewelry? What about one creative that says, do you know that 70% of women that wears rings, they are perceived as more authentic, just coming up with stuff, authentic than other women? Buy your authentic ring in AdBled. Did you know that most men feel attracted to women wearing at least 2 or 3 rings on their hands? Get your rings here in AdBled. You can come up with anything. What else they're using? They just product features benefits. So once again, or this is a very famous brand that I'm not aware of. So they don't need to do creative strategy. They just need to be like Kim Kardashian saying, I'm Kim Kardashian, buy my stuff, and people will buy. Or they've been around for so long that they already have, like, for example, other stores buying the products, so they don't really sell much online, which I doubt. I think this is probably just an online brand. Or otherwise, actually, AdBled. Let's see if they're running more on Ads Manager. AdBled. How many I have this in front? 130 creatives, though. They have more creatives here. What is this? Sorry. Watch, see summary details. See ad details. Shop gifts for all occasions. There you go. So you just, this is nothing. Honest to God, this is nothing. You should just be like, what's the angle? If I ask you, if this is selling, why is this selling? You have no idea why. So for example, let's tackle the audience. Let's say, shop gifts for your wife's birthday. Shop gifts for a loved one birthday. Shop gifts for a special surprise on a normal Friday. Meaning that you will know exactly, if you apply a proper strategy, you know exactly why things are actually converting. Otherwise, what are you going to do? Okay, this one is selling. What's the next step? What are you going to do? You're gonna change the sentence here? You're going to change the lady? You're going to do exactly the same thing? There's no conclusion out of the data that this creative will bring. By the way, this creative probably is not even bringing enough results. This has been running since May 7. Most certainly, unless you're telling me this is a famous person, and I apologize, I have no idea who she is. Maybe she's famous, meaning that just by showing her face, people will buy. I don't know. Fine jewelry collection. What the hell? This is, first of all, running Etsu collections nowadays is top of the top. Maybe this is even dropshipping. This might even be dropshipping, I don't know. They're just using like beautiful women. Are these women actually using their jewelry? Hita present till okay, maybe they are not dropshipping. I don't know. But as you can see, this is a clear company that is not doing a proper creative strategy at all. There's so much we could do. There's so much we could scale by applying a proper creative strategy and understanding which creatives work and why they are working. So this is something that most of the brands should do, is go check your competitors, go check other people in the market, become really knowledgeable about different creatives, different categories, so you can apply that to your own brand, so you can test different concepts, then produce different variations and scale as much as you can your own account.